Hang out with me while I craft a Beetlejuice tree. I started off by adding a string of green lights to create that spooktacular green Beetlejuice glow, and I did create the no feet Polaroids for my Crafternoon patrons if you want to join to check that out. But let's get started here. First up, let's make a Zagnut bar. I printed this 1980s candy wrapper onto an 11 by 17 sheet of paper from FedEx. So I'm just going to start by using my straight edge cutter here. Cutting off the excess. Now that it's cut out, I'm going to carefully try to line up the edges. This will go underneath this. So we want the yellows to overlap and the edges to still line up. Okay, very good. And then I'm going to start by gluing one short end together. This side is the bottom. Line that up. Line up the top. Then carefully glue all the way across the long side. Lose the next part. It's essential. So, and then find it. I just rolled up an Amazon shipping bag and taped it together and to the size of the Zagnut bar, making sure to leave space on either end to glue it together, and then shove that in there. Glue all the way around this edge. Line it up. Stick it real good. Cut off the excess if there is any. And there you go. You got a giant Zagnut bar. So let me show you what I all have for this project. I started collecting stuff for this project, I think 2019 or 18. I was going to make it then, but I just never got around to it. This somehow didn't make it onto my project board, but it is necessary. I got this conduit that I'm going to paint black and white stripes, turn into sandworms. So I need to add that to the project board, as well as Beetlejuice ads. I found these at Five Below. They're dog toys. And I'm going to turn them into shrimp hands. So I need to actually find my air dry clay to make that happen. There's another size of conduit to make a smaller sandworm. I got these glasses at the thrift store, and I think I'm only going to use 3 of them because then it will be like Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And these were the only beetles I could find. So what I'm going to do is use resin to make fake orange juice, and then I'm going to glue a beetle onto that, so it'll be Beetlejuice. I got giant flies for the cemetery scene. Look at how that green light makes the wings glow. That's awesome. So I can put those on right away. This is the colorant for the orange juice. I thrifted these eyeballs to make Adam's hand. I'm just going to use this and holes in the eyeballs, and I'll repaint them because those are awful, but just reuse this. Put the eyeballs on the hand for Barbara. I'm going to make tongue and eyeballs because I don't want to make full characters. And then I've got just a few other things that don't need to be fabricated. It's already done. And I got this stone clay that I'm going to use to make Delia's dangerous art, which I'm very intimidated by, but hopefully it works out. And I'm probably missing some other things, but hopefully I can fit it in and get it all done in time. Well, let's go. Oops. Okay, while the eyeballs are drying, try the orange juice. I don't know anything about resin, so just gonna learn as we go, I guess. And we're back. So part A, I have 4.8 ounces. And we will want to have 4.8 ounces of Part B. And let's see. Oh no, that was not good. Let's see how. Oh yeah, that is actually looking very orange juicy. Took out some yellow because I thought it might need it, but yeah, it's looking like a nice orange juice color, I think. And now I will pour A into the mixing thing, try to get all of it out. And for B, and we have 10 minutes of working time. Ooh, that was a little bit too much orange. It just wasn't looking orange enough, so let's add in some yellow. Maybe it'll be tang. Oh no, here comes Basil. Basil, don't come over here. Oh my gosh, I should listened. Okay, it says 1.5 inches. We can pour it in here, which is like, I don't know, up there. Which of course I got that on the cup. Oh no, that actually looks like orange juice. Yes. Okay. I wish that these were smaller. Oh shit. Okay, well, it's too late now. There's glitter in that one. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, well, that was my first time doing this, so I think it's fine if it looks like there's juice, like, let's have it look like someone drank it on there. Great. All right, now, just need to make some up for, I guess, half of that. While I mix up the third glass and then let it all cure, let's make Adam's hand. I decided to go ahead and cut the fingers off of this extra hand that I had, which is probably the most unhinged thing I think I've ever done. It's really weird. But these eyeballs are made out of hard plastic. And I didn't really want to figure out how to get into them. So I'm just gonna hot glue them onto the hand, and then I can paint the red directly onto the hand and then put it on the tree. Let's get done with this. I'm running out of space on my phone. Luckily, I had a random glue stick setting where I am right now. It's very unusual. It's from when I was making my tree last year. All right, I hope that these fit. The paint is just not drying, so oop, oop. Oh no. Oh no. Fingers are too close together. I have to get my heat gun out with the hopes of being able to move the fingers a little bit. Okay. I think that worked. Moved the thumb a little bit out as well. But it's taking a while to cool down actually, so. Let's give it a try, see if we can get these eyeballs on there. It's just not drying as quickly as I'd like. Or cooling down, rather. So hopefully the chopstick stays in place. Alright, well, I mean, it's not the best looking, but okay, well, good enough. I'm gonna turn the hot glue gun off. Yeah, don't forget that your hot glue gun is industrial strength and takes forever to cool down, and then touch it so that you get a second-degree burn. That was great. All right. Oh my god. That's probably going to scar. And I said I didn't want to use my soldering gun for that reason, to make a hole in the eyeballs. Anyway, crafting is pain, apparently. This isn't uh, an attempt to be screen accurate. It is an attempt to get done with it as quickly as possible and it look fine. So what I did was sanded these eyeballs that I got at a garage sale, but I do believe they came from Dollar Tree, which they don't sell them anymore. They used to sell them, but I haven't seen them in a while. I haven't seen any eyeballs or rubber frogs or rubber snakes. Like, where are all of those things? They used to be staples. But now they aren't focused on selling props as much as core, I guess. Michael's and Joanne's, which I guess has its good points and its bad points. But anyway, this is a hard plastic and it was a shiny, oops. So I had to scuff it up. So I paint on it. I'll have to get under this. Is it cool? It's cold. All right, nice. Well, that worked. It's great. Adam's eyeball hand is done. I think, unless I should put woo, red bloodshot eyes. Let me go look at the reference photo. Yeah, I think it's bloodshot. So this, just some lines here and there. Oh, it's not Miss Argentina. We're not going for anatomical accuracy here, so don't come for me, face off. We're just giving it the old college try so that we can be done in time for the premiere of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, which I'm going to the early AMC screening of on Wednesday. So it's Sunday, everyone. I waited too long. This is an oil pen, marker paint pen, by the way. Ooh, it's just getting worse and worse the more I go. The lines are thicker, it's less accurate. My blister is getting bigger and bigger. Should probably go do some wound care, but you know, I'm committed to getting something done. So to go to Michael's and get some foam clay because I do think that Barbara needs the whole face to be accurate. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to make the whole face. But, you know, there we go. Adam's done. Let's cross it off. All right, well, my phone died, so I Went and charged it for a little while, but I really needed to make progress, so I started on this. I just took a Pringles can and I'm turning this into Juno's cigarette. I cut out some foam that I had left over from my Lisa Frankenstein tree to fit into the inside of the can, and I protected it with the lid before I sprayed it. I attempted to do Plasti Dip because I don't have any gesso, but it didn't really work out. This is what I'm doing for Barbara. I don't think that I'm going to make the rest of the face because I just don't feel like it, honestly. So far, I am checking stuff off the list and I'm hoping it goes well because I would like to have a lot of time to dedicate to the topper, which is going to be the carousel hat. So we're waiting for this to dry. We have to do shrimp hands and the dangerous art. I went to Michael's and got the modeling foam. It's just air dries. And it's not the best for sculpting details because it kind of fills itself in, but this is what I came up with. Obviously, it's not going to blend into this hand. And I don't really want to make an entire love for it. That's just a waste of material. It doesn't look the best, but I mean, I'll try to paint it. So I have to find my third one and do the last two, and then once it's dry, I will paint it. Right, final thing for the night. Finished it off camera. I stippled gray and black and red at the tip, painted the end classic color, and then I used cat hair from my white cat and my tortoise shell. I tried to brush my black and white one because she gives a nice gray, but she didn't want to be brushed. So that's the color of the smoke. Pretty happy with it. I think it looks like a cigarette. It's pretty cool. So yeah, hopefully people understand this is Juno's cigarette. It's the next morning and I got the shrimp hands sculpted. I just need to paint them. The dangerous art is drying, but it's done. And got
my juice glasses with the Beatles glued on. And so we've got a bunch of things to cross off. Adam's eyeball hand is done. Barbara's tongue and eyes are done. The juice glasses are done. Juno's cigarette is done. Dangerous art is done. And the shrimp hands still need to be painted, so I can't really cross those off. But I do have more projects to add. Okay, we need to paint the shrimp hands. I have to do the topper. That is the most involved project that I'm very intimidated by. Next up is going to be painting worms. I did print off the ads and the numbers, so I'm going to add that and cross it off just for the satisfaction.
I painted the sandworms off camera, and now I need to do the final step, which is to create the carousel hat. I am using an umbrella hat to create the canopy of the carousel, and I need to paint everything in a black and white repeating pattern. The white is harder to cover, so I did choose to try to have the lighter colors with white and the darker colors with black. And then I paint the entire underside black. I created the carousel characters out of polymer clay and baked those off camera as well. You will see those later. But for now, let's get back to painting. Right, it is the final day, and I have hardly any time left. I need to sculpt the finial, which is the skull, and a bat. And I'm going to use foam clay, which will hopefully dry in time. But if not, it's getting painted even if it's not dry. So there we go. All right, it's not great, but it's fine.
Let's hope it dries. I need to make the overhang part, and since these bags from Target that they have in the Halloween section are the same material, I thought I could create it out of that. So I made a pattern. But first, I need to paint it white. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick and be back.
I didn't realize that my microphone wasn't on this entire segment here, so I'll just let you know what I did. I ended up painting the fabric and then I cut out the pieces. I painted bats on them, and here I am using Fabri-Tac to glue the fabric pieces onto the umbrella and then glue the flaps onto each other. It does take 10 minutes to dry, so I put some clips on them and then waited for them to dry before I took it all down. In the meantime, I am finishing up the carousel characters by adding these striped straws, paper straws, and I put a wire through the top of them so that I can attach them to the umbrella. And yeah, I made 4 characters. There are 8 on the original, but I only made 4. And originally I had wanted it to spin so that you could see all of them, but ultimately my mechanism decided to not work. So hopefully in the future, when I have more time and the capacity to figure out how to make it spin and light up, I will add the lights and the spinning aspect that I had originally wanted. So I'm just using super glue to attach the paper straws and sticking it in the pre-made hole that I made before I baked the clay. And now it's time to take the fabric down.
Didn't realize I didn't have my mic on this whole time. Oh no, it's peeling the paint off. Ah.
I made the conscious decision to not go out and get fabric medium because I didn't want to buy anything more, but it was a mistake.
Well, I don't know. Touch up. I still need to do touch up paints, but so I'm attaching every other one to this metal rod. And hopefully the fact that it's sort of painted shut will help keep them in place, but I don't know, I might have to put some kind of tape or glue there. Oh my god! Okay. Now it's time for the reveal.
Beetlejuice. 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 I am so happy with how this tree turned out despite all of the things that went wrong and all of the things that I didn't have time to get to. And I honestly can't believe that I finished it in time. So, thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me, and I hope to see you again soon.